fabulous with Kellogg's Special K.
Well, I'm behind the scenes here on the set of Expresso in our styling room. I've just caught our stylist, Robin, getting ready. What are you busy doing, Robin?
I'm just busy steaming some clothes for the show.
Now, I love coming here in the morning. Robin always styles us, make us look really trendy, and I see why. You've got your autumn-winter trends for 2012 against your wall. What's standing out for you this season?
Well, for me this season, it's definitely the ankle boot. It's a must-have in your closet this winter. Also filtering through animal prints, a lot of bright colors, and also if you want something comfortable, brogues are absolutely fabulous.
Now, it is all about shoes, and if you pick up the latest box of a Kellogg Special K in-store, you could stand a chance to win 50,000 Rand pair of designer shoes from Special K. How cool is that?
That's amazing.
And of course, we are talking everything about shoes. A fabulous woman who's independent, fierce. Now, you've got to guess who's the owner of these shoes are. She ran party scene of the Big Apple, had many romantic encounters, and I've never seen her in flat shoes. You know what type of shoes she's wearing and the ones that are featured?
She's wearing a pair of Nicholas Kirkwood shoes. They're amazing. He did some work for Alice in Wonderland, and these particular pair of shoes are from his 2010 fall collection. They're beautiful.
And you need to guess who the owner of these shoes are. Why don't you tell us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Should we tell them after the break? We won't give a clue.
Yeah, I think let's wait till after the break.
We'll see you after this.
Look and feel fabulous with Kellogg's Special K.
Now, just before the break, we asked you who is the owner of these wonderful shoes. Well, if you guessed Carrie Bradshaw or Sarah Jessica Partner, you guessed correctly, better known as Carrie Bradshaw, the character she plays in the TV series Sex and the City. Now, Special K are currently running a competition where you can win vouchers to purchase a designer pair of shoes. Designer shoes, any girl's dream. And to tell us a little bit more about the three of the world's foremost shoe designers is Layla Peterson-Gallant, fashion editor of O Magazine. Morning, welcome to Expresso.
Thanks, morning, good to be here.
Listen, every girl loves to own a pair of designer shoes.
Yes.
And there are three main names that pop up when you mention international designers when it comes to shoes. Who have we got first?
We've got Manolo Blahnik, you know, very expensive, stylish, handcrafted. They're actually assets in their own right. They're so expensive. And, you know, as Carrie Bradshaw once said in one of the programs of Sex and the City, she said, you can take my Fendi bouquet, you can take my watch and my rings, but leave my Manolo Blahniks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I must say, Manolo Blahnik got approached before the name was really big. It was in a TV series called Angel, before Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And he let all the characters in the show wear his shoes, even though the shoes weren't featured.
Yeah, exactly. He just, you know, wanted to kind of jump on the bandwagon before anybody else did and, you know, align himself with TV shows. But it was Sex and the City who got him out there as well. He's a Spanish designer and he's been sketching shoes for ages.
Yeah, up to the age of 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened was he actually went to London, and it was in the, you know, the 1960s when chunky platforms were huge.
Yes.
So obviously people were into these big clanky things, and he was like, no, the stiletto is the key, yeah? And he went back to the stiletto.
And they are the most comfortable pair of shoes. Carrie Bradshaw making them extremely famous.
Yeah, it was actually said Manolo Blahnik was the 5th character in Sex and the City.
And it should be the 5th character in anyone's wardrobe.
Tell me about it.
Who's next?
We have some Christian Louboutins. So he...
Locally, Uyanda Mbuli always wears them.
Yeah, locally, but, you know, internationally, we have the Kardashians who are fans.
Yes.
He's a French designer, and what happened was he went into a museum once, and he saw a sign that said, no women allowed with heels on. And he was like, no, I need to empower women. And he then said, I'm going to create the stiletto to empower women. And that's exactly what he did.
And he actually dropped out of school.
Yeah, exactly. And he became an apprentice. And what he did is actually took his sketches to all the design houses. And then YSL and Dior were the two that actually said, okay, you've got something here, come aboard, and he became apprentice. And then after that, he just opened his own Christian Louboutin empire. I actually have a pair here.
Yeah, show me. Because they're really synonymous with the red...
glossy...
Oh, my word. Look at this, ladies. Look at this. You can spot them a mile away with the red bottoms and looking incredible. Are these a size 8?
I'm not too sure.
Because I will put them on. No, they're a size 7, but I should try them on. I think they look incredible.
I mean, how amazing. This python, this, you know, this red glossy sole, that's obviously iconic of a Louboutin. And the inspiration came from the fact he was sitting at his desk and his assistant's nail varnish, you know, poured out. And he was like, that's the nail varnish I'm going to put on the back of my shoe. So that's how
what stands out, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just, you know if you're wearing a pair of Christian Louboutins, that's the red glossy heel underneath. Also, you know, Sex in the City always is going to come back. It's like almost, you know, Sex in the City and shoes are a marriage, basically. So what happened was that for the opening scene of Sex in the City movie, she chose a gold pair of Christian Louboutins.
Unbelievable. Maybe in the next season we'll see some other new shoes making their comeback. Then a man who started designing shoes at the age of 11, Jimmy Choo.
Jimmy Choo, and obviously we know Jimmy Choo because it was available in the country. So there were loads of women locally wearing his shoes. And what had happened, he's Malaysian born.
Yes, that's right.
And but he's based in London. And what happened was he comes from a line of shoemakers, like his father, his grandfather, so it's in his blood. And he's been sketching shoes, and it was actually Princess Diana who ordered 6 pairs when she just met him initially, and used to sit around him while he was sketching shoes. So it's amazing. And they're a bit more affordable than your Christian Louboutins. And I actually have a pair. Look at these. Hot for the new spring-summer.
How hot is this?
For the neon orange, it's just going to give you that pop of colour when you need it in the summertime.
Why don't you tell us what you think of these shoes on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. These are our Jimmy Choo shoes. We featured 3 different fashion designers, Jimmy Choo, Christian Louboutin, and Manolo Blahniks here on Expresso. There's just something about heels. I love my heels.
I can't get enough.
No, absolutely not.
And there's never enough pairs in your cupboard. You need at least one for every single outfit out there.
But that's why Kellogg Special K have got a fantastic competition where you could win yourself a set of designer shoes just by picking up a box of Kellogg Special K. Generous Pick and Pay. All the entry details are there, and who knows, you could own a pair of shoes like this.
I don't want to be that lucky person. I might go and get myself that cereal.
You work in fashion. You get exposed to shoes every day.
I know, but that's the problem. Like you get to see all these shoes and you just want more and more, and it's never enough. My husband gets a heart attack every time I go out.
I just have a shoe cupboard. That's how bad I am. But Leila, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for talking shoes, for brightening up every woman's day when it comes to talking about shoes. Katlego, what are you talking about?
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.